And we're back. And my head's in the way. 11.1%. We're nowhere near complete. But we're running out of shit to do. Okay, recon 16. I'm worried about the skin cream Snooty found. I'd feel a lot better if I took some time to analyze it. Let's analyze. Ooh, if Snooty Booty found the skin cream out by the incinerator, that raises a lot of questions. Why are cosmetics here in the first place? Tried to run some tests on it. Snooty Booty developed some nasty welts after using this cream. I want to see what it's made from. I have a feeling this is not something the professor would want me to be poking around in. I've come to the lab late at night to make sure I don't get any unwanted attention. I'm quickly able to identify a number of common natural skincare ingredients, like shea butter and chamomile. There are some other components that I can't immediately identify. What else could be in this stuff? I run the sample through the database of organic compounds. See if there are any matches. There are. Cat urine? I'd better not share this little discovery with Snooty Booty. I tried to check for any clues about the incinerators. Maybe I can find out a little more about where these things are coming from. At the back of the tent area are a couple of large pits that are used for disposal of harmful waste from the lab. There's nothing incinerating right now, so I dig around a little in the smouldering ashes. I'm tentatively moving the debris about with a stick. So far it seems to be just soot and cinders. No clues. Suddenly the silence is disrupted by the sound of somebody entering the lab. I make myself scarce by crawling around the far side of a nearby bush. As luck would have it, I happen to have ended up on an ideal vantage point to be able to see into the lab through a gap in the canvas. Convenient. Two men enter with a large crate. I recognize them as the ferryman and his son. Professor Pawpaw is with them. He directs them to place the crate on the worktop. The professor reaches in and brings out a small tub that looks identical to the one Snooty Booty found. My guess is that this is the next batch in for testing. The professor stops what he's doing abruptly and looks at his catalogue. I presume he's receiving a phone call. He dismisses the two men with a wave of his hand. As soon as they're gone, he turns his attention to the catalogue. He looks anxious as he speaks. Yes, they've just been delivered. I shall make a start first thing tomorrow morning. Yes, madam. I certainly will, madam. With all due respect, I do understand the urgency. I'm not sure you understand the need for thoroughness. I can assure you that we'll be ready for the deadline. Testing on sample 104 is going far more smoothly than 103. The improvements are very encouraging. There is a long silence. From the expression on his face, I imagine he's being elected. It's very important to cross-check it with data here. The island itself has a significant effect on the samples. We still have some tests left to do. We are making progress, of course. I shall let you know straight away. Call ends abruptly. Presumably, Madam cut him off. He looks angrier than I've ever seen him. He marches out of the lab and heads off in the direction of his tent. I sneak away from the bushes and head back to my own tent. I can continue with my investigations another time. Ooh, the plot thickens. Still tell me I'm leaving. Wait. No, I have more time, more to do. We're starting to rest. Now, let me see. Is that everything I need? I refer to my mum's recipe. Nana's original granola, amended by Mum. Large rolled oats, 4 mugs. Pumpkin seeds, half a mug. Sesame seeds, half a mug. Sunflower seeds, half a mug. Walnuts, roughly chopped, handful. Flaked almonds, half a mug. Pecans, roughly chopped, handful. Dried apricots, roughly chopped, handful. Dried cherries or cranberries, half a mug. Banana chips, half a mug. Sunflower oil, 2 tablespoons. Cinnamon, 1 teaspoon. And salt, 1 pinch. Honey, 4 tablespoons. And coconut shavings to garnish. Doesn't sound too tasty. Oh wait, did I forget to order the coconut? I rummage about in the supply box that arrived this morning until my hands find the bag they're searching for. Whew. Coconut shavings are a necessity. Wait, even if I had forgotten them, I'm on an island with an abundance of fresh coconuts. Still getting used to island life. Set the oven to 150 degrees C and leave it to heat up while I measure out the rollos. I have quadrupled the quantity so that hopefully it will last the whole summer. It seems vast compared to how much I make at home, but it would be disastrous if I ran out. Homemade granola is an absolute essential. I mix the dry ingredients, oats, nuts, seeds and spices together in a large bowl, and then add the wet, honey and sunflower oil, to form a golden, moist consistency. I've actually added a splash more oil than suggested. The mixer was feeling a little drier than usual. Next I spread it evenly on a baking tray lined with parchment, partly to save the washing up, and I whack it in the oven for 20 to 30 minutes, checking often because the seeds tend to burn quicker than I expect. The smell always drives me crazy. Toasty, warm, homey. I miss my mum. We're learning to make granola. Once done, I add the fruit as it dries and cools, and put it into several large glass storage jars, being sure to stir. Once done, I add the fruit as it dries and cools, and put it into several large glass storage jars, being sure to stuff fistfuls into my mouth as I do. Okay. Doesn't sound that tasty to me. Right, 12.5. Romance. Still just the one. Sorry, Murphy. Okay. Ooh. Ah, the delicacy of a moment is sometimes only matched by the beauty of the moonlight's reflection on the sea. Snooty Booty turns a big shining silver eyes up to meet me. Human, I've lived a long life, and only the first of 9, don't you know? It has been much the same, for as far back as my fragile memory reaches. Seeing the moon reflected on the sea would once mean only that I had stayed awake too long, and that I should see the same shade of grey reflected in the circles under my eyes the next day. However, seeing how you conduct yourself, human, with the grace of a drunken fruit fly and yet the confidence of a red-bottomed mandrill, has left me quite inspired. You do not care one bit about how you look. I subtly tried to comb my hair with my fingers. Snooty Booty turns her attention back to the moon. I have found since meeting you that when one cares less about one's appearance, one finds the capacity to care more about other things. Is that so, Boots? Quite so, human, indeed. I have found it rather freeing to bathe in salt water. Something which not long ago would have caused me to turn grey with anxiety in the same vein. I feel I am owed some thanks for teaching you a thing or two about proper skincare. Snooty, your demand that I use night cream caused me to break out in hives. But once they subsided, you were left with a very healthy glow. Barry? Yes, Snooty Booty. There's a poem I half remember. The words have become irrelevant, but the sentiment is so enduring that it's almost enough to cause me to weep at the thought of it. Music is also like that, don't you find? And smell. All of the senses, in fact, are the palette that colours our experiences and leaves an indelible mark on the soul. That's beautiful. Human, I believe you and I are both aesthetes? Okay. Kinda looks like aesthetic and athletes. We're what? We share an Aristotle's appreciation of the Didnt. And again, what? Really do try to keep up. I can tell I'm somewhat spoiling a mood here, so I keep my mouth shut and try to look engaged. I have suffered on this godforsaken island for the lack of many things. Nothing has quite matched the pain of feeling alone, not having a companion to share the most delicate sensibilities that life has to offer. An alluring scent, a vibrant hue, an Epicurean delight, all the subtle joys that are wasted on our more uncivilized cohabitants. It's been like air to my suffocation, sharing time with you, human. Why, Snoots, thank you. I enjoy our time together too. And so, she ploughs on as though I am an interruption. I feel that together, you and I might create something rather wonderful. Oh? A masterpiece. Alright, masterpiece. Out of what? Out of us, human. A union. A joining together of souls. I don't know. A marriage of hearts and minds. Are you saying what I think you're saying, Snooty? I'm saying that I'm fond of you enough to give me cause to believe that we may be able to commit to each other in the time-honored tradition of love, human. Oh, wow. I mean, the point of the game is, but meh. Because like up until this one, he's been all over it, and now this time he's not been. It's early in the chapter, and we've not really had a choice. Sounds weird, whinging about choice. No, sorry, Snooty Booty. Well, I'm amazed, and touched and amazed. Snooty Booty, you are a remarkable cat, and I'm also very fond of you. Time-honored commitment? I'm really not sure I can make that kind of... Ah, I see the problem. It's a class thing, yes. I have considered it a hindrance myself, but was willing to overcome. But indeed, I do believe you're correct, human. You will never truly be my equal as a friend. Of course, but anything more would be quite ridiculous. I'm so glad I've made the situation clear, and do hope you're not too hurt by my rejection. Oh, well, I am of course disappointed, but I understand. Thank you, Snooty Booty, for breaking it to me so gently. Well, say no more about it, human. I'm rather tired now, so if you would be so kind as to carry me to the shade and fan me while I take my nap, I would be most appreciative. Of course, Boots. Done. I can't see my stats in this screen. No more romance, no more recon. Time for research. Once you complete your research, your time at Cat Island will come to an end. Have you seen everything you want to see? Make it so. Research 5. Time to round up some kitties. It's a sunny afternoon. Most of the cats are lazing on the beach. Perfect, like shooting fish in a barrel. I'll double check my supply list. Crate, treats, sedatives, snare, catnip, antiseptic cream for myself. I've got everything. I have a sick feeling in my tummy, but I ignore it as best I can. This is going to be a challenge, but I am pleased the professor is trusting me with the more physical tasks. I walk out onto the beach, feeling like the child catcher. Keep reminding myself that I'm doing this for the greater good. Greater good. Even if it makes me unpopular with the cats. I set up the crate in an unsuspecting location and keep the snare hidden behind my back. First I stroll around trying to look as casual as possible, whistling a tune as I walk. I get close to one of the smaller cats. I start to stroke her. I want this to be as painless as possible. The cat responds well to me. She even starts to purr gently. Are you going to come with me? The cat looks at me with big, wide, loving eyes. Come on then. I pick the cat up, carry her to the crate, and place it gently inside. I lock it shut, even though the cat makes no attempt to escape. Well, that went better than expected. This may be a good day after all. Emboldened by my success, I approach one of the slightly larger cats. Hey matey, should we get in the basket? I give him a little stroke. He doesn't respond badly, although he doesn't seem particularly interested either. I put my hands on either side of his body ready to pick him up. Doesn't look happy about it, and growls a warning at me. Hey mister, it's going to be okay. We're just going on a little trip, alright? As soon as I start to lift, all hell breaks loose. Yowling and hissing, he scratches my arms to ribbons. I try to get him into the basket, but he stretches out, and I can't fit him in. Oh, ow, no. I know when I'm defeated, I have to let him go. He scampers off into the distance. Look down at my ravaged arms. Note to self, wear long sleeves when on caging duty. that it? That was a pretty short one. I've left my packed bag on the end of the jetty, and I have 10 minutes to find Snooty Booty to say my goodbyes. I have a pretty good idea where she'll be at this time of day, and I head to the shady spot of sand beneath the palm trees. Is that literally it? Are you asleep? She doesn't stir. I want to say goodbye. I'm going to miss you. No response. And I have a small gift for you. A slight stirring. It's not much. A little token, really. But I thought I could rub some into your skin for one last time. After that, maybe you can persuade the new assistant to help you with it. Once you get to know them. Just leave it there. I can't be bothered with it right now. The new one will do it later. We're already firm friends. You moved on fast. I know she's fibbing, but I respect the way she wants to play this out. Goodbye then, my lady. It's been a real privilege. Yes, I dare say it has. Maybe I'll be back before the winter. I have so much information about the sickness and possible cure that I can't see it taking longer than a few months to make a successful antidote. Especially with all the expertise on the mainland. It may only take weeks. Don't tell fibs, it's unbecoming. Unless, of course, you master the art of dissembling in the way that I have. Now run along, or you'll miss your boat. Don't worry about me. I shall be far too busy to miss you. Not so clever at dissembling as you'd like to think. Joe is waiting on the jetty holding my bag. You're late. Only a minute, Joe. You hardly look like the cat that got the cream. And he begins his annoying laughter. Within minutes we're out to sea, and I'm looking back at the beautiful little island disappearing into the distance, and my heart stirs. You wish you were staying? I think I do, Joe. I'll miss it. And them? The cats, of course. Mostly the cats. I made some really good friends amongst them. Dad! As soon as he shouts, the engine cuts and the boat comes to a standstill. Bob comes from the front cabin, where he's been steering the boat. This one no good, son? No, Dad. This one's no good. This one's got the cat's whiskers. He begins to laugh, and again my stomach flips. What's going on? You go to the helm, boy. Leave this to me. Need a hand with it, Dad? No, I can manage. You steer the boat. I'm rigid with fear as I realize they're referring to me. Do we have some kind of a problem here, Bob? Not for me. It's not personal, you know. Just we can't risk it getting to the mainland. My job to contain it. Then Bob takes some kind of pistol from his jacket pocket and points it at me. Uh-oh. What? Name, Barry. Relationship status is complicated with Snooty Booty. 2 successful days. What? We found an ending. Because we died. What? Huh? Hey. They shot Barry. What? I don't... That's not how chapters work. Oh, now I've got to pick somebody else. What? Okay, yeah, you'll do. Ethan. Don't look like an Ethan. Ruby? John? Harry? Ruby? Sticking with Ruby. Philippa? Deborah? Rosemary? Kevin? Jessica? Tim? Dorothy? Kevin? Hannah? Oliver? Barry? No. Dave. Dave! What a Dave! Dave. You look like a Dave. No, you don't look like a Dave. Dawn, Henry, Fred, Harry, Chloe, Chrissy, Harry, Simon, Hugh, Chungus. I'm having Chungus. So, Chapter 2. I'm finally here, so this is the infamous Cat Island, the place I will call home for the next 2 months. When I initially received a letter saying I had been placed on the reserves list for the job, I thought that was probably a kind way of saying no thanks. But I put it out of my mind. So imagine my surprise when sometime later I got a call saying there was an opening for me, should I still be interested. I have a sudden pang of nerves that it's all a dream and rummage through my bag until I find proof that puts my mind at ease. Oh, yeah, blah blah blah. Dear Chungers, we are pleased to be able to offer you the position of research assistant to Professor Purrfect research. Initial period of 8 3. Yeah, so it's basically the same. No mistake. That's my name right there in the top corner. Okay. So. Okay. It's a little different. A beefy looking man on his way and be on a jetty. Yeah. 126. Okay. Chungers. It's just weird. Barely listening before striding off and grand, looking over his shoulders. This way. Right, this way. I'm down a dirt track path and get my first proper view of the island. It's beautiful. A couple of minutes trekking, we're in base camp, which is modest but functional. A bit like glamping, really. Here. I've actually forgotten the voice I did for him. He stops at the largest of the tents indicating that I should go inside. As I enter, the professor looks up from his paperwork. Come in, you must be Chungers. Delighted to have you on board. Thank you, sir. It's an honor to meet you. Wish I hadn't picked a girl. You must be exhausted after your long journey. Let me offer you some refreshment. Water, coffee, something stronger, perhaps a little whiskey. Yes. Well, if you're having one, it would be rude to let you drink your whiskey on your own. I don't know why I said that like him. Well, if you're having one, it would be rude to let you drink whiskey on your own. Jolly good. I can tell you and I are going to be getting along famously. He takes a swig from the bottle and passes it to me. I try not to show my self-consciousness and surreptitiously wipe the neck with my sleeve before taking a modest sip. I don't expect you to begin work until tomorrow, so I'll just give you your kit and some basic instructions and then leave you to relax for the rest of the evening. Thank you, sir. That sounds great. Okay, so first things first. This is your basic kit. He goes over the pile of tools and equipment, explaining... Oh my god, not again. Oh, we're skipping it all. This would have been fine for the first playthrough. And this is your catalogue. He holds up something that looks a bit like a mobile phone. Catalogue? Yes, it was initially designed to record and store data on the cats, but we've come a long way since then. It even has a chipping pen that comes with it to tag cats, so you can keep track of them. It's an extremely valuable piece of equipment, Chungers, and cannot be easily replaced, so I need you to guard it with your life if needs be. I think he's joking at first, but he looks so intense I decided to take him seriously. Yes, sir, of course I will. Good, you'll get to know all the functions as you go along, but for now I suggest we take a stroll and see if we can't find a few cats for you to try it on. So I spend the next hour scanning cats under the watchful eye of the professor. Okay, so they do skip stuff. If I had to do another episode, I'd literally just doing the intro as Chungers. As I unpack and settle into my tent, I notice something odd. A little dugout under my bed. I reach in and pull out an unexpected find. Personal journey of the previous research assistant. The one before me. They must have forgotten it. Or left it behind. Okay. An absolute goldmine of information. It's going to get me up to speed on how it all works around here in no time. However, it seems something else was happening here on the island. Something that was troubling them. The feeling there's far more going on in it than the professor would have me know. Despite my increasing tiredness, I continue to read. The journal gets weirder and weirder, to the point where I'm not sure whether I'm still reading or if I've dozed off and am now dreaming of talking cats and kidnappings. Eventually I lose the battle and drift into a deep sleep. I wake with a start. It takes a moment to get my brain into gear. I can hear scratching around the rustling of paper coming from the tent flap. It's a cat with something in its mouth. Suddenly I'm wide awake. No! It has a journal. Wait! But it's disappeared into the night. Okay. Before I know it, I'm out of cold of night, chasing it, running with all my might. I must get that book back. It has everything I need to know in it. Barefoot, dressed only in a t-shirt and shorts, running at full speed in the forest in the dark of night. This is familiar. I know. I read this in the journal. Something similar happened to the previous assistant. Here I am, falling into the same trap. I must be crazy. I slow to a stop. I think I'm going to be sick. I realize, of course, I'm too close to the danger zone. Everything goes black and I fall to the ground. I open my eyes. Calico Cat, the one I scanned yesterday, is standing in front of me. She drops the journal from her mouth. I pass out. Oh God. Hello, I say. Can you hear me? Are you okay? Here we go again. Move back a bit. Let them breathe. Has it been bitten? Sphinx Cat is standing over me, staring as I open my eyes. Yes, definitely bitten. Look at his hand. Bring my hand up to my face, and through blurry vision I can make out several deep scratches and puncture marks. The cats watch me intently. Is this real? I read something in the journal about kidnapping. Catnapping! Yeah. We're sorry. It was the only way. You stole a journal. I get back to you. But why did you take it? To lure you out here, sucker. There's no need for rudeness, Kibbles. My head has begun to clear, and I realize that if I can talk to these cats, not only is it all true, it's already too late. I have a sickness. We need to talk, human. No, we don't. I know what's going on here. I read all about it from the last victim. Oh, Kara, that's not very nice. We prefer to think of you as our champion and friend. But Murphy, you silver-tongued Irish charmer. My reputation goes before me. Oh, I know who you all are from the journals. Let's cut to the chase here. We did that, dummy. You know what I mean. What happens now? That rather depends on you, human. What do you say? Going to help us or not? Yes, you little shits. Suppose my fate is already sealed. I may as well do the best to help sort this mess out. Spoken like a true champion. Well, let's hope this one's better than the last one. I doubt that'll be too taxing. Oi! Nothing wrong with Barry. Bad snooty. Unfortunately, they didn't get very far with discovering an antidote or what happened to our trades. My catalogue starts beeping. Oh, my alarm. I have to get to work. Go. And thanks from all of us. I make it back to the lab fairly quickly, considering how little sleep I've had. What if that's one of the effects of the feline transition? I imagine my agility levels will change. Strangely excited about getting to work on the antidote. It's the sort of challenge I love. Just about to enter the lab to begin my legitimate work when the catalogue beeps. A message without any contact information. Some things are best... What? I didn't even catch that. Ominous. I don't have time to work this puzzle out right now. I'm already going to be late for work if I don't get a move on. The professor is already working when I arrive, but miraculously I'm not late. So there's no fuss. I get through the day as efficiently as possible and head back to my tent as soon as my work is done. I want to get to grips with finding out all I can as soon as possible. And we're back here with Recon 2. Trixie's been telling me about a strange phenomenon in the nearby rock pool. Snoots has brought me something intriguing. Okay. Research. Ooh, we've only got one. I never thought I could add a feline hairstylist to my CV, but it looks like today's my lucky day. Wait, 4. So do 4, we get 5. We get for doing 5. Nothing. Wait, you're 5. We unlock 6 by doing 4. Then we unlock that one by doing that one. Okay. And which cats have we got the options for? Floofy Butt and McMurphy again. Snooty Booties. Been taken. Okay. Oh, wait. So if we go back to Recom. I think it was Recom. So after gift from Trixie, gift from Murphy. So there's something going on here. We need to work this out. Barry needs vengeance. If you enjoyed this episode, then tickle the like button. Perhaps subscribe and check out the rest of the channel. And why not join us on the Facebook, Twitter, Discord and Patreon. Links are in the description and running through the credits right now. I've been Landis. This has been Purrfect Date. Thank you very much and see you soon.